It's been a bit, but it's time to talk some recruiting because why? It appears Oklahoma is making some traction with one player that I really want and getting a few other predictions for the 26th class. Early signing period comes at the beginning of December, that literally in 1 week. And so this 26th class is shaping out. So let's take a look at some of the players that pulled up. I have a feeling that Oklahoma's going to land. Before we do that, welcome to Unfair Sports. I'm your host, Jay. The guy pulling up to the channel. This video is powered by partners at Sleeper. Check them out. They're going to hook you up. 100% match on your first deposit up to $100. Use our promo code UNFAIR. So we had some predictions been flowing over the last week or whatnot. Me and Coop talked about that last week on the live. And then this week, you get to add even more to it because one big name has populated. And of course, we're going to look at them, look at some film, plus two other players that I feel like we have a really good chance of getting our hands on. On top of that, we did have a decommitment. Now I'll talk about the decommitment at the end, and I'll kind of explain what I think the logic is behind that entire circumstance. So without further ado, let's start off with the most important thing. Here's the player that I am the most excited about. We have our guy, Jonathan Hatton. He is currently committed at Texas A&M, and there's a very good chance that we will see his name very soon pulling up to Oklahoma because remember, he committed to Oklahoma at, what was that, 2023? He's a 26, so like his sophomore year in high school, he's like, no, I want to be a Sooner. And so he committed to Oklahoma. We had him, 4-star prospect, top 100 player in the country, one of the best running backs in the country, in my personal opinion. Anytime I watch his tape, I'm like, that dude's a beast. And so Oklahoma was on his list of schools. And then last year happened, and at the end of last season, there was the speculation that DeMarco Murray could be gone. And because of that, it felt like that's where Jonathan Hatton was like, I'm going to go ahead and look around a little bit. So he did that, and he decommitted. Then March, he committed to Texas A&M, which is right close to him because he's down there at Steele High School down there in Texas. And so he kind of looked at that school close to him, and unfortunately, he ended up going there. Well, the last week, it appears that everybody's been thinking that this man is potentially going to be a Sooner. And when I talk about him for a reason. This dude's a beast. Like no hyperbole, big back. He's over 6'1". He's 200 and something pounds. He's big. And when he turns it up fast. And so for me, as a big fan of a running back of this size and stature, I'm expecting Oklahoma to turn up the heat with him, and I'm praying that we see something hopefully later today, maybe this week, because Steve Wiltfong over at On3 as well as with Chad Simmons, they both put in predictions for him to flip to Oklahoma. I've been looking at some of the boards, and Texas A&M mods have all said, yeah, we expect him to flip too. And I actually think a Texas A&M board mod, either for I think it's for On3, he also has flipped his prediction and said, yeah, he's going to go to Oklahoma. So it appears Oklahoma put in work. And him as a running back said, oh, I see what's going on there. I got a chance to play. And Oklahoma's willing to play freshmen. You know, if Blaylock wasn't beat up, you'd see more of him with Xavier Robinson. And so I'm not complaining about this. I wanted this back in this class. If there was a player I wanted in this class, that's the dude. So that tells me one thing. Winning cures a lot. You keep winning and you keep showing that there's potential in what you can do. Guess what? Players are going to pull up. So when you see that, let me know what y'all think. Hop in the comments. What's your thoughts? I told y'all that winning cures a lot, and I had a very funny feeling that we would have some big recruiting wins. That's probably the biggest one. Top 100 running back in the 26th class, dude's a beast. Now, there's been a couple more that have populated over the last, last day or two. We've been seeing some potential commitments come down. So I want to talk about two more players as well as the decommit that hit earlier today. But first, shout out to the partners over there at Sleeper. If you haven't checked them out for daily fantasy ball, you are 100% missing out. They got some of the best odd options out there. And right now, use our code UNFAIR. They're going to match your first deposit 100% up to $100. Plus, if you just go ahead and pick Oklahoma, go ahead and, sign up. Guess what? They're just going to be $20 just for checking them out. So, with that being said, take a couple pictures real quick. So, they got everything in here. Right now, they got a 35% boost on NHL today. You can pick that and use it. Same thing with college basketball. So they've got all the games and stuff out there. Today is Mondays. So let's see what's on Monday Night Football. All you do is pick two or more players, pick more or less on the stats. Christian McCaffrey, we're going to pick less on him. Kittle, we'll pick more. Actually, I think Christian's going to score a touchdown. I don't think Kittle scores those. I'm not sure if they can throw it. But I do think that Bryce Young gets some yards. Like I said, it's really easy. Two or more players, more or less on your stats. You can hit up to 100 times your money making these game days into payday. So use a promo code UNFAIR. They're match your deposit 100% up to $100. Plus, give you $20 just for signing up. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. So Oklahoma has a really good chance of adding some additional talent into their class. And I like this player here. This is a safety, Markeel Ford. He's been one that I have thoroughly enjoyed watching. Anytime I see him play, I'm impressed. And what I like about him most is he reminds me a lot of the safeties that we typically like to go after. Now, I mean, he is a 3-star, about 6'1", 190 safety out of, was it Horn High School down there in Lancaster, a.k.a. Mesquite, Texas. And really the big thing with him is that he's really good at not only finding the ball, but he likes to hit people. We all know that for Oklahoma, the biggest thing for them is they like hitters and they like guys that can be really good in coverage, especially at safety. He kind of fits that mold of a dude. Don't let the stars fool you. He plays wide receiver. He plays corner. He plays DB. He plays all over the field. And so he's another one of those that is just talented. Like he can do a lot of different things. And he's what you want at safety. He's another hitter. Your RP3s, your Michael Boganowski's, right? He's a dude that's very physical out there playing safety. And he can play coverage too. I like that because him playing wide receiver helps him out with him being able to play here. And you know what, Oklahoma, we like dudes that like to hit people. So I'm excited about him. I think he's one that y'all will be stoked about too for this class. He's one player that probably will make some big changes for us at the safety spot. So let me know what y'all think. Hop in the comments. I want to hear your thoughts. How y'all feeling about the idea of getting a Markeel Ford type player? The other one, though, and I think this is the one that's more important to me right now because he kind of adds to what we're doing on the recruiting side of things. And it's Dane Bathurst, the edge out of Indiana. He was committed to Duke, 6'3", 230. He's listed as edge, 4-star on ESPN, 3-star everywhere else. So it's a composite 3-star top, 550. But he plays linebacker as well. So like depending on the recruiting site you go to, he's either a linebacker or he's a edge. But what that means to me is he can play both. And he's talented. Believe me when I say he's talented. Talented, this is the type of talent you get. Look at this edge just running people down. Now, what I've heard about him as far as the thought process is he's a reminder of our guy, Danny Stutzman. He's a big linebacker who's very physical, who's probably a really good run stuffer, but he plays a little coverage. You can't complain about the coverage you see here, right? He's not bad at coverage. But he's a bigger linebacker that reminds you, like I said, of a Stutzman. He's a run stuffer. He may be a little bit more athletic than Stutz. Not sure. We'll have to see. But, Stutz is an NFL linebacker now. So, you can't really complain about him. And remember, Danny Stutzman was like a top 500 player. He was a 3-star coming out of Florida as well. And he wasn't the one that was heavily believed in. But I think Dane is going to be one that really gets y'all's juices flowing. Because if Oklahoma can get him, you just picked yourself up a beast. And you may have picked yourself up a dude that can anchor your linebacker room for the next few years. Nate Drilling is the one that actually is his lead recruiter. And yeah, dude's athletic and big. So Oklahoma's goal, as y'all know, is to get as many of these big old dudes as possible. Get these dudes that are beastly at linebacker And if he can blitz, I'm happy. Give me more of that. Because our edges have been monstrous too. Like the front seven has been just crazy. And if we can continue to find that type of talent, like I don't question the evaluations of Brent Venables and the front seven folks. Actually, now the defense, I can't really question it because they've been finding all kinds of dudes that we're all like, oh, wow, he is good. Like, I'm still love the fact that we were able to find Reggie Powers when he decommitted from Michigan State, and we immediately picked up the phone and said, hey, can you interested? And Coach Hall said, yeah, let's go get him. Get him. Staff is doing it. So that is really the to me, the big players that Oklahoma could go and pick up. Then you had some recruiting news that came down the line that kind of had an idea was going to happen. Not very fond, but at the same time, if we win Dane services, it kind of makes sense. And this is the one. Linebacker Ja'Cory Smith has decommitted from Oklahoma. So the 6'1" linebacker out of Bryant High School in Arkansas, his teammate is also committed in Nelson. And he decommitted. And in the article was kind of interesting. It said that we reduced his NIL. And we did not make him a priority. So, I'm going to be honest. The fact that we did not do that tells me that they've got somebody else in the chamber. Now, Matthew Nelson, the edge, the 6'5" edge out of Bryant, Arkansas, we're not letting up on that. My understanding is that we're going to push hard to maintain that one because we really like what he is. But Ja'Cory's not very happy with the fact that we changed course on him. And I totally understand it. He shouldn't be happy. The other thing is this is a business. It's just kind of how the thing goes. So I think it's unfortunate because I like him as a prospect. He was one that I really enjoyed. But you kind of get it. Oklahoma's chasing after some other players. You're chasing after some freakish athletes inside. So we'll see what it looks like. But let me know what y'all think. Hop in the comments. Want to hear your thoughts. That's my recruiting update. I haven't done one of those in a while because 26 has basically been done. And most of our pickups have been 27s. And I'm not really big on going an extra year forward, even though that class is like the number one in the country right now, or at least top 3, depending on the site. But we're going to see a lot more pickup on that one, probably this weekend after the LSU game. So keep your eyes open for more videos on that. Shout out to our partners at Sleeper. If you haven't checked them out for Daily Fantasy Ball, you're missing out. Use our promo code UNFAIR, and they're going to hook you guys up. Match your first deposit 100% up to $100. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. And hey, we'll chop it up soon.